Friends, we are getting to this season of wanting to put up things like garlands and lights and ribbons and beautiful other things within it. And it's one of the questions I actually get a lot because a lot of times when I'm filming food videos, you see the garland behind me in the kitchen. This year, I'm doing a lot of that same idea with the same type of garland in my dining room because I'm kind of rearranging where I'm gonna put a tree this year, and it's not gonna be right here. So I wanted all of this here, but I wanna bring you along with me as I'm doing it, because this is the question I get. How do you put up the garland? How do you put the lights in the garland? What kind of lights do you use? So let's do it together so we can feel the season, feel a little bit of cozy, and make our homes look like it too. My big thing when I'm putting up a garland that I wanna start with is, if you notice, this is the center of two French doors that go to the back patio. I am starting what looks like my garland at the center point, and it's mirroring each other. It's like a mirror image split in half, going outwards and down. So most garlands, it depends what type you use. Certain wired ones don't necessarily have a direction they fall. This is a faux cedar garland. It's a deluxe version that's extra thick. So if you notice, it's kind of falling down naturally like it would from gravity, but instead of it all falling the same direction, or instead of it looking upside down as it goes down one side and flailing open, I have it starting from the center, working outwards to the corners, and going down. So that's what I first want to show you. Now, the second thing, and I know everyone's gonna wonder, how's it staying up there? I'm not using the reusable clips. I'm not reusing those stick-on hooks that you can take off because they've never worked for me. They never actually hold what I'm using. So instead here, what I'm using, I have a thick, slightly over, it's like 1.5 inch thick trim. I put a nail, about 1.5 inch nail, steel nail, and I'll bring you in so you can see it, straight down in to the trim, and it's holding it. So these are up top in the trim. I can take them out after Christmas so you don't even notice they were there. And then next year I could put them back in. You know, growing up, I grew up in a house with old woodwork, and that's what we did there too. We had nails that we could put in, take them out over the years. And it just always worked on this heavy type of garland to be able to keep it up. So safety first, friends. I do have a step ladder here, but what I want to do is bring you up so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So if you notice, there's two ends here. There's a loop here, and the other loop is hidden underneath this probably, right there. So that's where two beginning points of this garland come together and they meet. So if you come out a little ways, you can kind of see those center is right here. Now we can cover that up later if we want to with a bow. We can do any type of ribbon, but this end, I can now hide behind the other garland. I can manipulate some of these twigs or cedar pieces to hide that. But that's what gives me a more finished look, to have a starting point where it branches off from and looks like a mirror image on each side. And I know sometimes lights look a little like they're twinkling on camera. They don't in person. But just so you see more here on the outside, let me look for one of the nails so I can show you right here. Right there is a nail. See that going straight into the trim, and you can see it's set back about 1 inch off the front. But then I'm allowed to do is take my garland, push it behind it so it is very sturdy. So what I want to show you is putting lights on, which seems pretty simple, but here's the thing. This is not, you can't even get this option for a garland with lights coming on it. And honestly, I like to put my own lights on. I think you can get a better quality light, and I think you can put more actual bulbs and brightness on if you do it yourself. So I often use what's called a cluster light. It's an LED cluster light. And what that means is, do you see what this is? You have a strand that has, within 1 inch, even just, this is the end of it, but just like 1 inch, you have over 4 to 6 of these little tiny LED lights. So they show up really nice. They also kind of look like fairy or twinkle lights within this because they're so much smaller than an incandescent old style bulb would be, or even some of those incandescent style LED bulbs. So these have to me so much more to offer. So what I always do, this has 4 strands total of 9-foot garland. It's probably about 13 foot across, 80 inches tall, and I had to overlap it obviously at the corners, which I can show you too. But what I did once it was up, because that's always to me the first thing, before you're gonna do anything with garland, I like to dry fit it wherever I'm gonna put it. So I lined it up, kind of saw where I needed to put it. I started with where I wanted it to fall on the ground here, and I wanted it just to kind of brush the ground. So this has maybe 1 inch or 2 here at the bottom, where they just brushed the ground slightly, and then I kind of worked backwards. So I hung it, At the top, it turned, and so I was able, since it's faux garland, it's wired, manipulate it into a corner, and I hung it at the top, so my 2 end pieces were on, and then I worked from the center out with the other 2, and I overlapped any extra on the corner, because a corner of a doorway is always where you can hide some extra garland, because it kind of looks nice to pump it up anyway. So now what I did was I laid my strands of lights kind of over the garland. They're obviously much longer. You usually need almost double the length of lights, or at least 1.5 times the length of light that you do for the garland itself, because you're going to weave it. So what I always do with this is, you can see this is a faux cedar, so it has long kind of branches. I lift branches, and as I go back and forth. So I know this is kind of hard to show, but this is honestly one of the questions I get the most about my kitchen window, because you see it so often with the lights. And I put all the lights on myself, so I just always go back and forth, lifting these branches as I'm going. Do you see how I'm doing that? And that's why in the end it takes so many extra lights, because the real estate you're using is a lot when you're going back and forth. It ends up taking a lot more of that strand of light. So then you're able to kind of just wrap them around. And then what I do is I look at it and think, okay, I'm seeing a little bit of maybe the cord here. And so I'll pull some of the pieces of kind of faux cedar branches out to cover up some of the actual wires of light if I need to. And then that kind of helps that from a distance, you're getting just the little lights poking out. And again, they do not twinkle or anything in person. They just kind of do on camera. But now you're just getting more of this well-lit garland. Now, just like it is beautiful. It has the twinkle, it has the lights. You could stop right here, and I think there's nothing wrong with that. Over my kitchen window, all I do is garland and lights. Since I've had a tree here in the past, I feel like the garland feels a little empty. So I have some different things sitting here. It's gonna be pretty simple overall, but you can see right here in front of me, I have just a few different things that I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna try some kind of wired garlands pretty much to put inside of it. We have one that has bells. I just think they're kind of simple and easy. We also have a gold little jingle bell garland. Do you see those? And then I got some sizes of different bells that come in sets of 3 that I thought I could either put at the corners or throughout it if I want to, and some ribbons. So I thought today what we're gonna do is really talk about the embellishing of it, weaving things in, and how it's gonna look. So I'm gonna start just with this bell garland, which is gonna be pretty because I like how they look both when they're hanging horizontal and vertical. So horizontal, vertical, they both kind of look good. And what I wanna do is, I think if I did it right, I need about 4 of them. They don't have to be evenly spaced or perfect, but they have little loops on the end that, since this again is wire, you could use a twist tie or a little bit of kind of low gauge wire to bring them up. But what I'm gonna do is just kind of twist them around one of the branches. And you can see the way they're falling would be okay, but I kind of want to intersperse them a little bit so they have kind of the idea that they're hanging almost on their own. And if you do it, you kind of think of it like the lights, where I'm going back and forth in kind of an S motion going down. But then what it does is it kind of offsets them, so they look all different as opposed to being just in one line. And I'm not trying to do it like the lights, where you're gonna need near the extra amount or length of them as you would the lights, because I don't want them to be near as many. But if you notice, as you hang them kind of going different types, since they're on wire, they kind of then start coming out at like different points, which is kind of nice. You know, the thing is, when it comes to garlands, you can do a little bit of anything you want. You could put a little bit of extra ribbon and weave it through. You could do so many different things to just kind of add a little bit. And I think that's what's exciting about garland. You don't even need to put up a Christmas tree if you don't want to. I get that it can be a lot of work for people. We can put up a garland around a doorway, a window, a mirror even, and you can add a few touches to it that make it feel a little bit more seasonal, so you get a little bit more kind of that feeling, but don't feel like too much work. What I like about this one is, if you look, it kind of has all these little miniature things that hang off of it. So you can kind of, if you'd want to, it could be really fun to kind of go a little bit lower on one side if you would want to. You could do a little bit more of a swag. I'm kind of more intermixing it a little bit with the bells, but I don't mind if I see a little bit of that wire, because I think there's something really pretty about making it feel a little bit more natural in the way it falls, as opposed to it all just kind of growing out of the garland itself, which I'll bring you now in a little bit closer so you can see it. So while I'm using a stepladder, you can kind of see now, don't worry, I will fix that loop. But you can see what I'm doing is just kind of roughly interweaving this, and I'm not done with it yet, but it's kind of nice because you can manipulate it in a way that you can kind of just weave it back and forth within it. And you see even how it kind of gets lost. So even going down over here more on a vertical line, they kind of get lost in there, but then just peek out at, to me, just the right spots. So I want something subtle, but I want something that also kind of catches the light and makes it come down a different way. Okay, friends, what we're gonna really talk about now, it kind of just finishes off so many things, is bows. You could add ribbon, you can add bows. I like the idea of at the corner doing a bow. I think I'm going to hang these bells with them because I think they could be really pretty. Now, you can do bows in a lot of different ways. So I have this antique kind of frayed ribbon. It's a velvet ribbon that looks like it's been frayed. I mean, it is frayed, I should say. It doesn't look like it. It's what I've been using a lot of lately just because I like that it's very relaxed. It's very kind of laid back, and I like that look. You can do a wired ribbon if you want to keep your big bows beautiful and really like prostrating outwards. You can also double them up and make a bow if you want to, but I'm going to show you kind of what I do, which there's not a right and a wrong. There's whatever works for you. So when I make my 2 loops here are my loops to make this bow. I'm going to drape this other color that's opposing through it, just kind of thread it through, and it's going to hang in the middle. I'll show you here again. I always give myself a little extra just to make sure. You don't want to get to the end and think, oh no, I can't make the proper bow. So you see how that's sitting there? That's perfect, actually. It just sits right there in the middle, and you make 2 loops. I even also usually put in the middle my twist tie. So you can kind of just wire that around, and then you take these and you just tie them like you would your shoe without making a knot first. I think that's the key. We're used to tying our shoe first, making a knot, and then, you know, pulling it through. On these, you just make your loops and you pull them through. See how simple that is? It sounds, you know, like it could be hard, but honestly, there it is. And if you look, we're left with that twist tie in the center, and that can help us now affix this with those other bells to the corners. And then you can just cut your tails to match each side. I mean, honestly, I cut them at an angle, and I like them to be different lengths at the bottom. But then what we can do is take something like a little embellishment like these bells, put them with the twist tie, and hang them up. So I need to see if these have to go on a certain one, maybe that one. But do you see now? And you could add this, by the way. This is something great. You could add this to anything. You could put this on a wreath. You could put this on a door, honestly, but we'll put it up here. So at each corner now, we threaded that wire through, that little twist tie, through these kind of bows, which more act as these ribbons coming down off these bells, which are just big enough that they offer a little bit more at the corners. You could do pine cones, you could do so many things here, but they offer just a little something and go really well with all the other ones we used. So if you kind of back up and look, what I like about all of this is it's really simple in the sense that we're using just a few different elements. We're using that base garland that we added lights to. And now when I take this off, I'll leave the lights on year to year, most likely. Usually, even though it's multiple pieces of garland, just like my kitchen is too, I'm able to keep them together with the light, so then it's much easier to use. And then I'll just maybe take off these little wired garlands, wrap those up in tissue or bubbles separately just so they don't get interwoven. But otherwise, these pieces at the corners can just be taken off, reused if I want to, or change it up next year. But you can see it's such a simple way to add a little bit of something extra, make it feel personalized for your space. It can be with your colors. You could add a big bow here in the center too. And maybe eventually I will. Maybe I would kind of, I don't know, what do you guys think? You know, I could do the same thing kind of here in the middle where you have some of this hanging down and it might look actually really good. So I might do that. Stay tuned, I'll show you if I do. But I think this is a fun way to change it up since I'm not having a tree here from the kitchen when I'm filming or when I'm working in the kitchen. I can still have some Christmas cheer because it's sometimes just seeing it and seeing those twinkle lights that actually make us feel really good and cozy, right? And when I'm having guests over at the dining room table, once it's cleaned up, we can actually just have a little bit of that too, which I really like. When my family's here always on Christmas Eve, this will kind of add that great tone that we just want to feel during the season. So I hope it maybe inspires you, but more so I hope it answers a few questions on how I add lights to garland, how I add anything else, kind of make it feel natural but also hidden at the same time. Of course, put your questions down below in this video. I always love to see what maybe I missed, what maybe I could show more of next time just to make sure, because I get it. You want to be able to do some of these same things in your homes. I'm the same way when I see something, so I want to know how it's put together, and that's exactly what I hope to do here. Enjoy the season, friends.